What is up, guys? I want to give you two quick hands that are going to make you crush your games. These come from two of my hands where I exploit the hell out of these fish that I'm playing. I wanted to just go over them really quickly and get to another hand soon. In my next video, I wanted to make a longer one. So this one hopefully will be quick, and it's going to show you how the hell to exploit fish. Also, this first hand I'm going to use a solver. The second hand I'm just going to talk about the hand, and we're just going to use graphics, and that's it. I didn't even want to use the solver for this first hand because it's all about exploiting fish. The only thing I want you to look at is this range right here. This is what I gave the fish in this hand. This is going to be his pre-flop. He limped under the gun +1. We were playing a huge game. We were playing, God, I have stories. I think what I'm going to do is make one of these just like a story time type of thing. Like just tell you about some of these awesome stories. Because honestly, like if you play poker for a living or if you play lots of poker, you know that like you can make a movie out of some of these hands. Some of these nights. So this is going to be his like limping range. So under the gun +1 limp. This is a 10-25 game. Biggest game I played in a long time. There's straddle on sometimes. Didn't really go my way in this session, but it was fun, and we were battling. So he limped. This guy was loose. He limped. This is the range we're going to give him. You can see the top of his range really isn't there. He's going to be raising all that. And then I raised the button, and he called. I just wanted to show you. We were like 200 big blinds deep minimum, maybe 250, 300. We were so deep. Lots of money on the table. Too much for me, to be honest. I broke one of my rules. Kind of not really rolled for this. That's okay. We got to take shots every once in a while, guys. So what the exploit here is, guys, and don't call me a nit anymore because I made a pretty nasty bet here on the river. So the flop comes, let's see where we are. Ace of spades, queen of clubs, 10 of clubs. We were heads up. He checks to me, and I bet 1/3. I think we sort of have equal. I think I might have bet a little bit more, like closer to half. But for this thing, I think you should bet big. Solver, we're not going to go into the solver too much for this. Solver probably wants to bet big, especially his range is capped. So the exploit here is exploiting capped condensed range. His range is just too wide. Let's just stay on this screen. And the turn was the the turn was the 3 of spades. He called, and I ended up betting pretty big. I think I overbet the pot, and I might have bet pot in real life, but the solver loves overbetting. But I bet pot, and he calls again. So it's ace queen. Let's go back to this. Ace queen 10. 3 of spades, bringing double flush draw. The river's the 8 of hearts, and he checks a third time to me, and I bet 2/3 because the main exploit here, guys, and what you need to take away and where you're going to leave money off the table is he never has these hands here. Look at all these 2 pairs. Look at all these pair plus flushes and sets. On the turn, he would probably raise straights, and he would probably raise flush draws anywhere on the flop or the turn. So the range is not going to look like this on the turn. It's not even going to look like what it did on the turn, which would be something like this. It's not even going to look like that. There's so much trash in this guy's range, guys. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this trash, guys. Look at all this trash that you're going to fold out. So the exploit here, guys, is to bet. He has nothing here, especially when he goes call. You're going to put him in such a tough spot. I end up betting 2/3, which is a little bit less than $2,000. This game is fucking gigantic. And my hand, and I don't want to give away too much of what the action was. Because the point, I don't want you to be distracted from the noise of this whole thing. The point of this is that he should never have certain pairs. I'm really targeting his best hands are like A7, ace 7 of of diamonds or something. Ace seven. So that's like one combo. Maybe the other combo, ace seven of hearts. If he has ace eight, he's calling because he has two pair, but like he has it so little. A lot of these, we'll go back over here. A lot of these trash aces is going to be put in a really tough spot. Plus, he only has two combos of each usually. He could have like the draws if he doesn't have an ace. Like he could have king eight of spades. He's folding that. So hopefully you guys kind of like guessed at what my hand was, and it was pocket fours. I had the only problem, and the reason why I wanted to go over this hand is sometimes your bluff's good, and what I want to really talk about is like this is GTO, guys. He's folding out so much. Problem is about this hand is when I do bet pocket fours, if we go back to my hand, my combo, I think I had red fours, which would be my bad, which would be four hearts, four diamonds. It is pure betting this combo. The only problem is it's not pure betting every combo of pocket fours, so you don't always have to bluff with the bottom of your range. But if we go to his hands, the hands that I thought he had most often that would call a bet on the turn would be these ace high combos. Maybe these king high combo flushes. Maybe hands with flush draws like queen nine. Maybe hands with any kind of king, which would make a straight draw and a flush draw, or any hands with the pair plus flush. So the only problem with is that he is supposed to call at GTO. He's supposed to call pretty often with these hands, which makes he's only has one combo of these, which makes the bluff worse than I had thought. This is why we study, guys. This is why we use a solver. So even though betting pocket four is pure, especially my combo is okay, it's not always gonna work out. But you have to bluff here a certain amount of time when you have pocket fours. So if you're checking back pocket fours here, your guys are just gonna lose, and you're just gonna lose to fish. Okay, this is how you exploit fish, guys. Bluff the bottom of your range. I bet you so many of you guys that watch these videos, you guys that play 1-2 or 1-3 or micro stakes online, you're not bluffing. You're not betting pocket fours here. You probably were surprised when I said I had pocket fours. I'm doing this with a lot of these hands. I'm doing this with my suited connectors that missed. I'm doing this with pocket threes, pocket deuces. I think pocket threes is a set, so disregard that. But you get what I'm saying. Bluff, guys. Don't be a nit. Bluff. I go to the next hand, which is going to be the opposite. It's going to be a value bet. All right, guys. So I have the hand up here in GTO Wizard. The problem with this hand and the problem with GTO Wizard in general is that you can't solve this spot. We were four ways to the flop. I had the button. The flop came jack 8-5. There wasn't two spades. It was rainbow. And we were four ways, and it was checked to a guy in the middle position, this fish who just doesn't get the game. Don't have to say any more about that. He donked here. So what does a donk mean? Ask yourself here, guys. What does it mean? It means he's capped at like one pair. There's two guys in between us, so he was first to act. And they both folded. And you could raise here, guys, but he's capped at one pair. And I thought raising, if you're going to raise, like there's just so many good cards on the turn to raise, and he's going to put more money in. I just thought calling would be okay here. Don't try this all the time, guys. I think you should raise here most of the time. But I'm going for a little bit of an exploit. I want him to put more money in the pot. I don't want to scare him away. I thought raising would just scare him away straight up. Even if I did a small raise. So anyways, I call, and the turn is the It's a disaster turn. It's the 7. It's a 7, and it brings in a backdoor flush draw. So it had to be like the 7 of spades or 7 of clubs or something if this was the 5 of clubs. Remember, I have pocket fives. I have a set. And believe me, guys, when you get a set on the flop, you just want to get it in a lot. But he donked. That's a little bit different, you know. I know he's super capped. He never has 2 pair. He might have pair plus flush at the best, but normally he just has a naked pair. And he checks to me. And I thought, now if I bet, I feel like he's folding for sure. He's folding. And with the 7 on the turn, I said on the flop he could have pair plus flush or he could have pair plus straight draw. The 7 I don't really like at all because it gets there. The 7 brings in so many draws. It brings in 9, 10. It's good for my range in this spot because he knows that if I bet here, he pretty much has to fold 1 pair. And like I said, like I know his hand. I know he has a pair. But he could have pair plus straight draw. He could have pair plus flush draw. And again, if it's the worst card in the whole deck. Any other card in the deck, I think I bet here. Okay, I checked again, or I just checked. Whatever, I didn't check again. And the river comes an offsuit 10. So now there's a one-liner to the straight. You just need a 9. And I thought, this is the worst one out ever. I'm so mad at myself for not raising pre-flop. He probably doesn't have a straight, but what can he call here? How am I going to make money now? You know, my whole plan of exploiting him on later streets where I'm going to go for thin value, it's over. But this time he bets. He bets fairly large. And I was like, oh shit. Like he has 2 pair now. He has Jack 10. He doesn't have Jack 8. He might have Jack, what I say the term was 7. He might have Jack 7. So I'm like, oh my God. He has exactly Jack 10 or Jack 7. Jack 7 is kind of a joke. Why would you be donking that? But anyways, how do I get value now? There's a one-liner to a straight, and I have a set, and I know he has Jack 10 at the best. So what size am I going to use? Well, if I go like 3x, he folds. Maybe I'll go 2.5x. He could easily fold there. Well, what did I do? I min raised, and he tanked for like a minute. And this guy doesn't tank that often. He's a young kid, whatever. And he says, do you have a 9? I'm thinking to myself, if I have a 9, I'm going fucking huge. And he calls. And what does he have? He has Jack 10, guys. So the moral of this hand, the moral of the story is, first of all, raise on the flop. But if you're going for this exploit where you want him to keep putting money in when you know he has a bad enough hand to where he's going to probably fold to a raise but keep putting money in, which is the main exploit here, be careful how big you make your bet. Bet size, remember, this is not limit hold'em, guys. This is no limit. So I thought he would make he'd fold if I made it too big. And I min raised on the river, and he called with Jack 10, exactly Jack 10. And the reason this is an exploit is you're exploiting, you know his exact hand, but you need to go for thin value here. And I think a lot of people are just like, you know, they see the kid donk on the flop and they just raise huge and he folds. Because he can fold. This guy's definitely capable of folding Jack 10. I mean, Jack 10, I know like on the flop he has backdoor straight outs and stuff, but like so often he's just gonna like look at me and be like, you know, you have ace jack minimum, I fold, like, cause he like can't have ace jack, you know, he sort of knows that, and he just folds. So the exploit there is go for thin even when it's scary, and really think about their hand and what they can call with, and don't just go for your like, oh, I'm gonna 3x his bet. Think about, you know, you could go 2x, you could go 2.2x, stuff like that. Just get the max, and yeah, that's it. And keep studying and keep exploiting fish, and I'll see you around. Keep studying, guys. I'll take your money. Bye.